The sounds of mechanical breathing echoed in the darkness. The hiss of sliding doors. Into the courtroom stepped a tall figure in a dark suit. The air grew tense as Darth Vader, once the feared enforcer of the Galactic Empire, stood with his hands tightened by some of the most advanced restraining bolts in the galaxy. Vader could easily break free from his bonds and choke the life out of every man and woman in his presence. But that was not what he was here to do. That is no longer the man he is, and it certainly isn't what Padme or Luke would have wanted for him. As the court proceedings continued, distant memories began to surface. Was this what Ahsoka felt years ago when she stood before a military tribunal? But this was different. Ahsoka was innocent. Framed. Vader was guilty for each and every charge brought up against him. In this video, I shall be exploring a hypothetical scenario where Vader survived Return of the Jedi after the death of Emperor Palpatine, and a situation where Imperial remnants make peace with the Republic. A part of the agreement would be that Vader stands trial for his crimes. But since I suck at writing narratives, I'll be doing a breakdown instead. Do note that I'm not a law student, these are just the considerations and takes of a Star Wars fan. Also, if you're interested in more things related to Star Wars, the Old Republic, and artificial intelligence, do check out the rest of my channel. Cheers! We've seen firsthand how divisive and often toxic politics could be in the New Republic, in the Ahsoka series, and in some of the novels that take place before the sequels. Annoying senators and corrupt bureaucrats who attempt to stand in every way of justice or urgent action. It is why Leia Organa, who was initially a really prominent figure in the rebellion, later the New Republic, she had to form her own splinter resistance to combat the First Order. In fact, her blood relationship with Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker, also made her standing in the world of politics even shakier, and her opponents and rivals use it to their advantage to win election campaigns and to create scandals that taint her name and her position as a politician. No doubt her wartime contributions to the restoration of the Republic would be recognized, and she would have friends in high places. But from what we have seen, it is a little hard to maintain such a position for a long time, and her relationship with Vader would raise many questions as to where her loyalties ultimately lied. It certainly will make defending Vader from all the public hate and onslaught all the more challenging. Especially since you won't trust someone who is known to be a relative of a most hated figure or a tyrannical figure in the galaxy. As the Black Ghost 214 puts it in his comment, peace with the Empire is nothing more than a mere fantasy. It just seems too good to be true here. Why give up the galaxy's most wanted man, a key person in your leadership structure, to an enemy that you have been fighting for years? Why send him to face trial by a government, by a system of justice that you do not recognize? That would send him to ultimate death. This sudden move would be shocking to say the least, and will contribute even further to the already divided leadership in the Republic. Even if peace was settled, a Cold War, a tense standoff between the New Republic and the Imperial remnants would likely still ensue, as both would claim to be the legitimate successor of the government of the Galactic Republic. It's a bit similar to what we've seen with the SWTOR MMORPG, or even that of the Western or Eastern blocks. What we will see is a heavily militarized galaxy, with neither side backing down. Many in the New Republic will probably think it best to just get rid of Vader entirely, and not even let him stand trial, cause this man has committed too many crimes to be allowed him any justice in the first place. Since Vader's relationship with Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa is public knowledge, I don't doubt that his former persona as the Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker would also be made public, something that could likely be used for his defense, or a way to plead for leniency, despite whatever guilt he may have for the charges brought before him. Even though politically the Skywalker kids may have some trouble, I do think that there would still be a good word or two for him. Luke in particular, Vader has spent years in the service of the Empire as Palpatine's enforcer, slaughtering and punishing those who defied his will. But he was also once Anakin Skywalker, a war hero of the Clone Wars, who fought for the Republic on the side of the Jedi. His contributions and service to the former Galactic Republic was as undeniable as his actions as Darth Vader. This could open up some avenue or some consideration for an alternative to the usual death sentence afforded any person who commits treason or war crimes in light of this. Perhaps it may be something akin to Philippe Pétain. He was a distinguished commander in World War I on the side of the French, but was sentenced to life imprisonment due to his collaboration with the Nazi regime. So ultimately, will it be death or imprisonment? The justification for the death penalty is also widely controversial amongst the Republic circles. There are strong advocates for such a punishment, while senators would consider it barbaric in nature, as is the complex nature of politics. But given the time period this scenario would likely take place, the Republic is still likely transitioning from an organized militia into a civilian government. Vader's trial will be a military tribunal rather than a civilian judicial system, which means stricter laws and harsher punishments. That means, more likely than not, it will still be a death penalty. But death by what exactly? I don't know. This guy is literally a tank. Though, with some previously mentioned considerations and some interference by Imperial spies and sympathizers, who knows? Maybe our man will live to see another day. And it goes into a bit of fan fiction territory here, but let's explore this. Another interesting take I may have. In the aftermath of World War II, both the Soviets and the Americans recruited Nazi scientists to help develop their nuclear weapons programs. Right-wing states, such as Francoist Spain, were still allowed to exist by the West. Because, well, they will be an excellent ally against the communists, which likely would have happened for this Italian man if he didn't get unalived. Maybe some of the more militaristic and intelligence factions of the Republic will see Vader being sent into their custody as an opportunity to gain the upper hand against the Imperials in a future arms race or future conflict, albeit in an inhumane way. Vader wishes to see his children, make him a prisoner, and give him false promises, cooperating with them with the research as they conduct tests on him to attempt to build some super soldiers using Sith alchemy and the Force. Something like what Moff Gideon wanted to do with Grogu. As much as the Republic was meant to be this ideal fighting for hope, I do believe they are equally as capable of the horrors that the Imps are capable of, because such are the complexities and the morality of the galaxy. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this alternative scenario, and you have any thoughts, leave it down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.